Starting with nothing is a gift. If I were starting a business in 2026 with $0, no investors, no office, no team, and no reputation, I would not feel disadvantaged. I would feel free. Money has a strange effect on people. It makes them comfortable too early. It makes them copy instead of create. It makes them chase scale before meaning. Starting with nothing removes distractions. It forces clarity, and clarity is power. When we started Apple, we didn't start with money. We started with an idea that the world deserved better tools. If I were starting today, the rules of technology would be different, but the principles would be exactly the same. This is my exact plan. 1, I would start with a vision, not an idea. Most people begin by asking, what business should I start? That's the wrong question. I would ask, what experience is broken in the world today? Ideas are cheap. Vision is rare. In 2026, the world will be faster, noisier, and more crowded than ever. Everyone will be copying everyone else. AI will create more products, but fewer meaningful ones. That's where opportunity lives. I would look for something that feels frustrating, ugly, overcomplicated, emotionless. Because wherever people accept bad experiences as normal, there is room for something extraordinary. Apple didn't win because we made computers. We won because we cared about how computers felt. I would not chase trends. I would chase taste. 2, I would fall in love with the problem. I never fell in love with technology. I fell in love with problems worth solving. If I were starting in 2026 with $0, I would spend weeks, maybe months, doing nothing but observing, watching how people use apps, learn online, communicate, build businesses, waste time. And I would ask one question over and over again. Why does this feel so bad? Most founders rush to solutions. I would slow down and obsess over the problem, because when you truly understand a problem, the solution becomes obvious. Money can't buy obsession, but obsession can replace money. 3, I would use my skills as capital. If I have no money, my skills become my startup capital. When we built Apple, I wasn't the best engineer, but I understood design, I understood storytelling, I understood people. In 2026, skills matter more than ever. If I were starting with nothing, I would ask myself, what am I naturally good at? What can I learn faster than others? What do people already ask me for help with? Then I would build around that. You don't need money to sell knowledge, experience, taste, solutions. I would start where leverage is highest and cost is lowest. 4, I would build the smallest thing that matters. Most people with no money try to build something big to look serious. That's a mistake. I would build the smallest possible product that creates real value. 1 problem, 1 solution, 1 user type. Not perfect, not scalable, not impressive, just useful. Apple's first computer was far from perfect, but it worked and it mattered. Perfection comes later. Momentum comes first. 5, I would ignore traditional business plans. I never liked long business plans. They give people confidence without understanding. If I were starting in 2026, my entire business plan would fit on 1 page. At the center, the experience I want users to have. From that center, who is it for? What problem does it solve? Why does it matter? How does it feel? If you can't explain your business simply, you don't understand it. Simplicity is not optional. It's everything. 6, I would find a co-founder based on values. I would not look for a co-founder with money. I would not look for a co-founder with connections. I would look for someone who complements my weaknesses, shares my values, is obsessed with excellence. Wozniak and I were different but aligned. Bad partnerships destroy great ideas. Good partnerships turn small ideas into movements. Trust matters more than talent. Alignment matters more than speed. 7, I would market through story, not ADS. If I have no money, advertising is useless. Storytelling is everything. I never believed marketing was about selling. It's about belief. In 2026, people will ignore ads, but they will follow stories. I would share why I started, what frustrates me, what I believe the world deserves. I would not talk about features. I would talk about meaning. People don't buy products, they buy identity. Apple didn't sell computers. We sold a way of thinking. 8, I would build desire before scale. I never rushed scale. I built desire first. If I were starting with $0, I would share progress publicly, invite people behind the scenes, show the process, not just the result. When people feel part of the journey, they become loyal. Desire creates demand. Demand creates leverage. Leverage attracts money. 9, I would not chase investors. This may surprise you. I would not chase investors early. Investors don't invest in ideas. They invest in belief backed by proof. Before asking for money, I would build users' feedback momentum. Even small numbers matter if the belief is strong. Money follows clarity. Money follows execution. Money follows courage. 10, I would build a brand from day one. Brand is not a logo. It's not colors. It's not fonts. Brand is how people feel about you when you're not in the room. From day one, I would be intentional about tone, values, standards. Even if you are small, act deliberate. People trust consistency. Consistency builds loyalty. 11, I would hire slowly and demand excellence. If I couldn't hire, I would collaborate. If I could hire, I would hire painfully slowly. One great person is better than 10 average ones. Culture is shaped early. Once it's broken, it's almost impossible to fix. Talent without values is dangerous. 12, I would think global immediately. Technology remove borders. If I were starting in 2026, I would design for the world, not one country. Language, simplicity, universality. Apple succeeded globally because we focused on the human experience, not local trends. 13, I would seek mentors without asking. I never begged for mentorship. I earned it. I listened. I applied. I reported back. Mentors help builders, not dreamers. If I were starting today, I would ask smart questions, show progress, respect time. That's how guidance appears. 14, I would stay uncomfortable. Comfort kills creativity. Starting with $0 keeps you sharp, hungry, alert. I would avoid over-planning, overthinking, over-consuming content. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Stay hungry, stay foolish. I once said, stay hungry, stay foolish. That advice matters more in 2026 than ever. Starting with no money is not a disadvantage. It's a filter. It removes weak motivation, lazy thinking, fake ambition. What remains is truth. If I were starting a business in 2026 with $0, I would not wait. I would not ask permission. I would not copy. I would think different, and I would begin. Final words. You don't need capital, you don't need connections, you don't need approval, you need clarity, you need courage, you need to start,